Okay, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Atri, my dear moments. Now, this video is coming out 2 days after recording it, and I have literally, prior to this, just recorded a Atri, my dear moments episode. Okay, yeah, so let's just get into it, I guess, without much further ado. Archie doesn't open her eyes again until sunset. When did she change? Did she bring this with her from the island? That's odd. Ah, you're awake. Good morning. Is it morning? It appears to be sunset to me. Yeah, it's the evening. Then why did you say good morning? You should have said good evening or something. Well, I guess I won't make that joke again. By the way, why are you naked? My clothes are drying, and I'm not naked, I've just taken my shirt off. And why am I naked? Your clothes are drying too. Oh, so you stripped me? I believe that would legally be viewed as sexual harassment. You sleep like that next to me every night, and you're worried about it now. Do you do something to me while I was asleep? No comment. Ah, yes, definitely sexual harassment. I was joking, I didn't do anything, I'm not pathetic enough to play around with a sleeping girl. I wonder about that, you seem more pathetic than you used to be. When you were a child, you had a much stronger will. I've just learned to see the world for how it really is. Can you stand up? If necessary, yes, but I have yet to recover all of my functionality. Okay, well, don't push yourself. I went and picked some fruit, eat up. Archie looks at me with dissatisfaction. Don't you want any? I do not require the nutrition. Delicious things make you happy, though, don't they? Come on. Peel one of the fruits and hold it in front of her mouth. Archie just stares at it. Did you harvest these without your leg? Well, I didn't have much else to do when you were dozing away. And now you're peeling them for me. Oh, that part's easy. This is somewhat harmful to my pride as a robot. This should have been my duty. I suppose I really am just a piece of scrap. Can't be helped in this situation. Looking after his robot is a master's job, right? Just like I clean her teeth every morning, in fact. If only I really were a military robot, I wouldn't have ended up like this. She takes a chomp at the fruit, her face contorts. It's really sour, but it's tasty. There's still a lot on the trees over there. We'll probably be having them tomorrow, too. I will pick them tomorrow. I should be fully functional by then. Why do you look so disappointed? I was just thinking that I quite like you like this. What? Of no use whatsoever? You're always helping me out, but I never get the chance to be the one caring for you. It's nice to dote on you for a change. I'm not sure I would describe this as doting. But very well, if that is what you wish. Come a little closer, please. Huh? I lean in. Archie throws her arms around me and pulls me into an embrace. Oh my god. This is my best spoiled Natsuki impression. I don't know how else to be doted on. Do I really act like this? Affirmative. She says nothing else, she merely closes her eyes. Are you going to sleep again? No. Archie opens his mouth wide and I gladly shove another piece of fruit in it. Shove his fruit in it, eh? You like that? You like that? You like that, eh? It's lovely and sour. His fruit is sour. The fruits of his labour. Good. There's plenty where that came from, so eat up and get better. I cannot actually process the nutrition they contain, so eating more would be meaningless. I'm sorry, I really am a piece of scrap. There's something so adorable about her apologies that I can't help but peel another piece and give it to her. F-bomb. Fuck. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if there was an F-bomb in this game somewhere. I mean, they had a whole bunch of shits at the beginning, but they seem to have lessened the swearing a little bit. By nightfall, she seems to have picked up a little. It's getting a little cold, isn't it? The wind is bringing an ocean chill onto the island. I put my now dry shirt back on. You should put on your clothes too, Atri. If that is what you wish. It very much is. What's with that look? I have been taught that human expressions can be used as a silent substitute for questions. In this case, do you really not want me lying here half naked and defenseless anymore? No, put some clothes on. She begrudgingly slips into her dress. So, have you remembered what your last order was? Archie fell silent for a moment, frowning. Sorry, I can't remember it at all. Do you know anything about this island? My grandmother had something that she wanted you to do here. I can't remember anything. Huh, right. I have to admit that I'd assumed that just arriving on the island would revive our memories, but I guess that was naive of me. I suppose we'll have to go exploring and find exactly what you're supposed to do here. When the sun comes up tomorrow, we'll look for a way inside that building. What? Would it be acceptable if I had you dote on me a little more? Fine by me, but it's not like you'd ask for that. Suppose she just feels vulnerable when she's weak like this. That said, that would only be a learned response, right? She shouldn't be showing her fake emotions around me. The only way I can aid you is to let you dote on me. What, and do you think I want to do that? When you did it earlier, you did not appear to be displeased. Things have been so awkward between the two of us these past few days. Ever since I discovered that Atri's emotions are just simulations, I haven't really known how to act around her. Well, if that's what you want, then I'll gladly oblige. Okay then. Okay then. Okay. She leans against me and I wrap my arms around her. Ooh woo, hey. I'm really nice and warm like this. Me too. My temperature is lower than normal due to my reduced power output. I can feel your body warm from Natsuki-san. Suppose I'll have to keep you good and warm then. Hey, whoa, hey. That would have no effect on my functionality, so it is unnecessary. Oh, I forgot to drink my tea, This is cold now. Not even lukewarm anymore, it's just like fridge cold. Let me just finish this one more mouthful. Cool, tea done, now we can get back to reading the dialogue. That's a surprisingly cold reaction. Well, I suppose I won't then. I try to pull away, but Atri holds on to me. Please don't stop. Why not? You said yourself, it's unnecessary. It's indeed unnecessary, but being by your side is soothing. So it feels good? I do not feel anything. I do not have a heart. She replies apologetically, well, that is kind of counterintuitive. Well, I don't care about that. I still think that you have emotions, and I still love you. Well, so I'm more than happy to hold you like this. You're quite easy to please if this is all it takes. Very efficient. That's just how high performance you are. Just being close to you soothes my soul. So I am high performance. Mumbling with seeming surprise, she clings onto my arm. High performance. Everything falls silent. The birds have returned to their nests, and the only sound that can be heard is the occasional rustles of maintenance robots in the grass. In the distance, the waves wash against the island shore. It's a beautiful, peaceful night. So tranquil that I could almost forget that we were shipwrecked here. Maybe the two of us should just live on this island. I mumble idly to myself. This place is like paradise. We've got all the food and water we could ever need. I can see why they called this Eden. You really could start a whole new life here. A whole new world, even. A whole new I'm sorry, I really apologize. It feels like we're a modern Adam and Eve. Oh god, not Adam and Eve, bro. I may be high performance, but unfortunately I am not equipped with the necessary functionality for reproduction. Oh my god, of course not. When did he say that? You would require at least one more human to start a new society. The world's going to be swallowed up by the sea anyway. We don't have to worry about that kind of thing. Any new world we started would just end anyway. Have we been saved? Maybe. This feeling of relief, this peace, maybe this is salvation. This surely must be the most serene experience I've ever had since the day I lost my leg. So, simply accepting our doom and living lazily here until we die would be salvation. My database makes a clear distinction between the words paradise and graveyard, but it seems you do not. Should you not, if you have any life left, strive to survive as best as you can? The harshness of her words instantly brings me back to reality. Is that why you spent the last days before you stopped functioning studying? Soon her memories will completely break down. While she may physically be able to go on living, the current Atri may as well be dead. Everything in her mind will be lost, including everything she studied. Isn't that pointless? You understand that, right? Is something pointless because it will one day die? Does that not make all of human life pointless? In that case, it would be more efficient for all humans to simply die. Wow! Holy crap, bro. That could make all of human progress meaningless, wouldn't it? Even the Earth itself will one day be swallowed by the sun. The universe, too, will one day reach its heat death. But I can't live that way, Atri. Even though I know that you're going to be leaving me so soon, I don't know how I'm going to go on when she isn't here. I can hardly remember how I lived before she came back into my life. May I ask you a question? Yeah? You believe that me studying and knowing when to die is pointless? Well, of course. In that case, why did you tell me that you love me? What? You had already realized that I was dying, hadn't you? So what was the point in telling me you loved me if our love could only ever last a few days? Audrey turns and stares at me. As expressionless as her face is, there is something approaching expectation in her eyes. Well, yeah, I'd worked it out. But still, I had to tell you I needed you to know that I love you. Don't know why, I've never felt this way about someone before. I lived my whole life thinking I could never fall in love with anyone, but when she came into my life, it felt like she reawakened that natural instinct within me. She's also a robot, remember? Then we had a further question. Was that pointless? What, tell you how I feel? She nods. After I told her I loved her, we lived out those few wonderful days as boyfriend and girlfriend. Of course, it was just a facade, a robot's attempt at giving me the illusion of happiness. I wanted to tell her it wasn't all meaningless, but I don't have the confidence in my own words to say it. I knew that the end was coming for her, and I just wanted her last days to be happy. I wanted to make her dying days have some kind of meaning. She looked so happy. I thought I managed to bring some joy in her short life. It was only when I read those logs that I skipped that, and I didn't read enough. It was only when I read those logs that I realized what a folly there was. I was just doing it for my own satisfaction. I was letting my fantasies of the good life to completely take over me. It might have been pointless after all, yes. Sup?
Riley?
Yeah?
Yo.
Yo. I see. I would not make the same judgment. The time I spent as your lover was of much greater utility than the time that I was not. That has not changed. The time I spent together with you is infinitely preferable to the time we are apart. I wish I could be as strong as you, Atri. I am merely a robot. I do not have feelings to hurt. I look at you and all I can see is a cute girl. Ooh woo. That was how my outer shell was designed. It is not a functionality I selected or achieved myself. I would like to attain an existence that is valued for the knowledge and skills I have required. With her dying day approaching, she really wants to fulfill that wish. It's such a pure and noble motive, compared to my desperation. Can I ask you a question, Atri? Of course. It's about what we were talking about on the ship when we were interrupted. What do you think happiness would be for me? She believes that I'm not happy currently. She was about to explain what she meant before. A future. You have so much more time left on this earth compared to me. There are so many things you could create. Please don't throw away your future. So you're telling me to go back to the academy? She nods. Think that's where my future lies? Affirmative. You said it yourself. If you don't save the world, you won't be saved. Ha ha. I turn away, laughing a hollow laugh. Atri, are you trying to make fun of me, or is it just an accident? Oh? I'm not the person you and everyone else seems to think I am. What do you mean by that? I was a dropout. A dropout, Atri. You were? Yeah, a dropout, but too proud to admit it. But weren't you a top student at the academy? Yeah, bitch, weren't you? I was, at first. I looked down on all of the other pupils, and even the teachers. I even thought that I could be the one teaching them. But that was only the first couple of years. The more I studied, the more I understood the truth that there's no way to save the world. And the harder I worked to convince myself otherwise, the more it drained me. My grades started to nosedive. Huh?
Why does it sound like the Minecraft music? Is that just the mic picking that up?
Oh. I mean, I guess it kind of sounds like the music. Minecraft music is just a piano. That was when everyone started to pay me back for all of the arrogance and disregard I'd shown them. I lost my scholarship, and suddenly I had to pay my way again. I had no money, and I had to sell my cybernetic leg. I thought that if I just tried my hardest again, I could get back to the top of the class. But I just didn't have the concentration to do that, not without an objective, not without any reason to go on. I couldn't keep on living there with no leg and no friends. When I sold my cybernetic leg, my phantom pain came back. Every night was hell. Exhausted, my grades dropped so low you could count my test scores on your fingers. Even if I did go back to the academy, there's no guarantee that I could return to the level of achievement I had initially. I'm scared to find out just how worthless I really am. That, above everything else, was why I ran away from the academy. Not being able to afford the tuition fees was nothing but an excuse. I was using that and my leg to justify giving up. While I turn over those regrets in my mind, Atri mumbles dejectedly. So there's no way to save the world. And no way to save me, Atri. Her normally blank and expressionless face is tinged with sadness. Don't worry, even if I can't save the world, I can at least save you. That's why we've come to this island. I see. For all the upheaval we've experienced, one thing hasn't changed. I want to make Atri happy. Yeah, that's fucking impossible, she's a robot. Well, I mean, it should be impossible, although I don't think it'll be impossible because plot reasons. What am I? A heartbreakingly forlorn look passes over her blank face. Sure, bitch. Birdie. Mushy. After a night with Atri in my arms, morning arrives. I set out to explore the island again. This time, a fully rested Atri accompanies me, lending me her shoulder to lean on. I suppose that I actually am a highly useful, helpful robot after all. She expressionlessly looks down on the tiny maintenance robots busily working away on the island. Does she really need to compete with other machines? In the light of the morning, I am astounded again by the island's construction. This place is pretty huge. There's so much foliage that I'm not sure we can even walk over to the other side. I can't believe that my grandmother had a hand in this. Although I say that, but if there's one person who could make this island, it would be her. It probably took her and her team years to gradually build it up, just like how the robot insects build their hives. I'd expect it to be more than a year to build an entire fucking island. But just building it wouldn't be enough. Floating out here on the ocean, eventually something would come along and damage it somehow. To prevent that, she had to make it self-sustaining. She truly was trying to create an entirely new way for humanity to live on after all of our land sunk beneath the seas. So this is an option too. When I was studying at the academy, I only ever considered possibilities such as somehow stopping the sea rise or colonizing space. The received wisdom was that seasteading wasn't practical. I never even considered it. But my grandmother was the kind of person who would pour absolutely everything into her research. Even her closest relatives thought she was eccentric, mad even. Mad scientist, Atri, are you sensing anything? I can feel something calling me from that direction. But where's Ryuji? Did he just drown and die? With Atri guiding me, we managed to find what appears to be an entrance to the concrete building. Unfortunately, it's not just locked, it's blocked up by a huge wall of tree roots. Damn it, we're never going to be able to get in there. I try to pull away some of the roots, but they don't budge. Atri, do you think you can do something about this? Atri? If I just disengage my power limiter, I could break through. However, I would not recommend it. Why not? It may leave me without the necessary power required to assist in getting off the island. You want to fulfill your own master's last wish, though, don't you? The key that could be right behind this door. That is true. However, I cannot allow you to come to harm in the process. I'm not going to die here or anything. I could live forever on this island. Do you intend to live here alone, even after I have ceased functioning? Without Atri, I wouldn't care what happened to me. Well, we don't have any way off of the island for now. We should prioritize doing what we can here. Atri silently places her hand on the wall of the building. The instant she touches it, it shudders. Holy shit, the entire screen's shaking. Funny. It opened? How did you do that? I simply commanded it to open. I'm just about to squeeze through the roots covering the door and get inside. Atri joins me and we examine our surroundings. Us examining surroundings, innit? This looks pretty swanky. Inside is a large, strangely tranquil hall. It almost feels like a temple. What is this room? It is the central control room. All of Ida's functions are controlled from here. Unexpectedly, Atri is able to answer my question. How do you know that? I am connected to it. What? I have linked with the central control computer. It has welcomed me as Eden's core. It welcomed you. Alright, later. No call now. It welcomed you? I don't understand a word she's saying. Allow me to show you some schematics. Lights flicker across the walls. A second later, an enormous window-like object opens up before us. Wow, that's a hologram. You don't see them at all these days. The only one I've ever seen was at the Academy, an old relic from humanity's peak. On the hologram is displayed a detailed plan of what looks like the entire island. Are you Eden's control unit? I'm remembering something about the role Yachigusa Nonko gave to me. Really? What do you remember? Nonko created me to manage the systems on this island. An ecosystem this advanced cannot be maintained by normal AI. So this was her last order. I mumbled to myself as I survey the holograms. Wait a second, this part here, does this mean... The instant I realize the meaning of what I'm reading, my blood runs cold. Yes, I will die. My grandmother didn't need Atri herself, just her brain. Atri is supposed to connect to the computer in this room and meld with it. However, her brain is soon to cease functioning. It won't be enough for her just to plug herself into the island. What the fuck is going on? The capsule that I found Atri in was in a cold sleep chamber, capable of preventing a humanoid's lifespan winding down as long as it's inside of it. And here, there's an almost identical device. This won't merely preserve her, though it will meld Atri's mind to the island and completely remove everything that makes her her. That's really dark. In other words, it's a machine made to kill Atri. Yeah, that's dark as fuck, bro. Grandma. You evil old fuck. So, this is what you wanted for her, you evil old hag? My shout reverberates through the hall. Atri, I am a master now. You don't have to obey her orders. That is correct. Her reply is swift and calm. However, there is one correction I must make. What? According to the memory data I have just recovered, Yachigusa Nonko was never my master. This is not the final order that I have been seeking. You what? So, who is your master? My game just zoomed out by itself again. I do not know. My head is spinning with confusion. How could this possibly be? It wasn't my grandmother that gave her the final order? Everything I thought I knew, from the objective we've been striving for to the change of to the level of technology we're dealing with, has completely changed. I just don't understand. What did we even come here for? that fucking pose, though. As I hold my head in my hands, trying not to scream, the window in front of me changes. Atri has brought up a new screen. It's a view of the sea. This is a live video. The ship, is that Ryuji? Audio analysis indicates the presence of loud, energetic, late 20th century rock music. I detect no signs of intelligent life, therefore it is logical to assume that Ryuji is indeed on board. Wow, insulting, bro. He must have followed along to try and save us. Let's go. Shouldn't we investigate all the computer files here first? I must prioritize your well-being first. Archie takes me by the hand and starts to lead me out. Oh shit. There it is. That is our ship. Hey! Yeah, it seems like you're not paying attention. Natsuki-san, hand me your stick. She grabs a stick off of me suddenly. She pulls off her dress and wraps it around the end. She waves her makeshift white flag energetically over her head. Ryuji, you dummy! Natsuki-san, can you help me with this? Ryuji! No, you have to add the dummy part too. Looks like you've seen us. The ship's turned this way. She hands me a stick and puts her dress back on. It's time to go. Right. Please refrain from being too upset until we are safely back on the ship. In accordance with the 3 laws of robotics that they are programmed with, humanoids must prioritize the safety of human beings. Archie can never put her own gain ahead of my safety. Yeah, except she can hurt someone. She's hurt people before, and that's against the law too. How are we going to get onto the ship? Why is the music so dramatic? I mean, you guys can't hear it, but I can, and it's dramatic as all hell. The island is thronged as always by high waves, stopping anything coming near. I have no idea. Thankfully, I have put at least a little thought into how to conquer this problem. We just have to float a little way out to sea and wait for him to pick us up. Understood. We'll need to use the vines from that tree as well as the stick. How will those help us float? You'll see. Just do what I tell you. I pick up some of the ropes. The tree's thick, steady vines and wind them together into a rope. I think that's supposed to be sturdy, but I read this like it's spelt, not how it's meant to be. I tie them around one end of the stick. I need you to throw this like a javelin somewhere close to the ship. I'll give it a try. Hup! The stick flies through the air all the way to the ship's port side. Ryuji seemingly catches on quickly and ties the vine rope around a ring buoy. I pull the rope back, bringing the ring along with it. Oh, I see. While you were sleeping, I thought of a few ways to get off the island. This one in particular was for the occasion that Ryuji was able to help us. I had other plans in case a fishing boat came by, or in the worst case, we would have to fashion a raft from the trees and vines here. Okay, let's go. Affirmative. I put the ring around Atri's waist, take a deep breath, and hold her close to me. Don't let go of me, okay? Do not worry, I have already learned the proper procedure for this. Oh wow, that was a fisheye effect. Atri starts to run toward the shore, and leaps. Splash, bro, splash. I told her not to let go, damn it! I desperately flail around, just managing to grab a hold of her leg. I'm sorry, Natsuki-san, my hand slipped. I thought I was going to die, you idiot! Yes, I am indeed an idiot piece of scrap. I apologize. Natsu, Atri. My game. I just accidentally pressed the button at the top to put my game into. Yeah. Ryuji brings the ship closer and throws us a rope. He pulls up Atri first, and the two then work together to lift me up onto the deck. Phew, that was close. Flopping over like freshly fished salmon, I close my eyes and take a moment to appreciate the simple joy of being alive. Man, I'm so glad you guys are safe. I thought you were drowned. Thanks, you're a lifesaver, literally. No need to thank me, that's what best buds do, right? Looking out for each other. Seeing one smiling with tears in his eyes, my bosom wells with happiness. Yours? Not even a single person at the academy would have cried for me like this. Yeah, that's why he's not going back to the academy, bitch. The music in this game is so good. I almost called it a show, because that's really what it feels like. While we sat on the deck recovering, the island floats off into the distance. We didn't find any way of saving Atri. Miss, what's wrong? I can't find it. She turns pale, frantically patting away at the pocket of her dress. I don't have my logbook. Did you drop it on the island? Maybe it was when she used her dress as a flag. The worst case scenario would be that it came out in the water. I had logged every single thing every day since you salvaged me. Well, we'll have to go and buy you a new one. Okay. Atri stares out dejectedly at the island as it retreats toward the horizon. Have to see this island again at some point, eh? Wonder how long I have left of this game. Atri, my dear moments. Oh, it's morning. Since returning from Eden, I've been struggling my way through more of my grandmother's files. I must have dropped off while reading them again. Well, it's some sleep at least. I need to know exactly what Eden is, and the only way I'm going to find that out from the few files she left on the ship is to read them front to back. This might be entirely pointless, but I have to try. No matter how much I search, I can't find anything that seems to relate to Archie's last order. Don't even know who her previous master was. At that moment I hear her rustle on the bed behind me. Good morning. Well, that was actually a yawn. Never mind, not just like... Looks like you're a little more lively this morning. I'll go and get breakfast ready. She stands up and starts to wobble her way over to the kitchen. Atri! Oh, sorry, I was still half asleep. You're not hurt, are you? My body is sturdier than a human's. A fall like this isn't enough to damage me. That's not an excuse to bumble around carelessly. She sets about cooking as if nothing had happened. I've never been one for big breakfasts. Before Archie came into my life, I'd normally have just a piece of fruit, or even nothing at all. These days, however, there's always the smell of bacon wafting through the air in the morning to stimulate my appetite. Fucking bacon, eh? I clear all the scattered papers off of the table. Huh? Atri, something burning. It does smell like it. She could have turned off the heat, taken by surprise. After a moment, she comes over holding my plate. Wow, what on earth happened? I told the plate is a grim, ominous mass of burned something. It's been a long time since you've messed up a meal like this. Why did you try a recipe you haven't cooked before? It's not a big deal, I suppose. It's kind of nostalgic in a way. It takes me back to the first day Archie came to my ship. Just like then, today's menu is a bacon that resembles shards of burnt bark from a tree that's been struck by lightning, and toast you could kill a man with. I'm amazed that I managed to finish it, albeit only by forcing it down my throat with a constant stream of water. How was it? It was delicious, thanks. This is the first time you've ever complimented my cooking. I'm normally so bad at it that I start to worry that I'm really some kind of military robot or something. What are you talking about? I've complimented before, I'm sure nothing, it's nothing, forget it. Conversation comes to an abrupt end, but an uneasy tension hangs in the air. Feeling the need to say something, I try to ask something that I've been curious about. So, Yajigusa Nonko was never your master. Yajigusa Nonko? Who is that? Oh, shit fuck. What? You said you remembered her. It's this woman. I show her a photograph from one of her files. Oh, yes, that person was not my master. Well, that's a pretty firm answer. A humanoid never forgets its master. My grandmother can't have been Atri's. Do you remember anything about her? Only that she was a horrible old bag. Well, you remember the important things, I see. There's one detail being confirmed only leaves me with more questions. Why was she in my grandmother's storehouse? What did she do before she ended up there? And most obviously of all, who was her master? If she remembers her master, maybe she'll remember her final order too. Might be the key we need to unlock the lost parts of her the last lost parts of her memory. Do you remember anything at all about who your previous master was? Dun-dun. A flash of sadness seems to pass across her face. Sent a jolt of coldness through my body. It takes me back to the very first time we met, when she was trying to kill herself. I think I may have been abandoned by my master. Abandoned? Yes, I seem to remember my master disappearing. Disappearing how? Was that when they gave you a final order? Excuse me for a second. Bro, you were her master. Atri grabs my arm and pulls me downward. She has my head closely against her chest. Hang on a second. I've flushed red, but I can tell that this is her trying to recreate a part of her lost memories. I can't exactly stop her. They held me like this and said something to me. I have no recollection of what they said. She lightly taps me on the head. Seems like she's still trying to remember something. Do you know when this happened? All I can remember is that it was before I went to sleep under the sea. Ah! That's right, it was around the first time I met you. Really? Then that would make it 8 years ago. So she was abandoned by her master and wanted to kill herself. Did my grandmother take her in after that? That cliff was close to her house, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility. But what happened to Atri after that? Atri, could you let go of me now? I zoomed out by accident. No. She squeezes me even more tightly against her chest. Been a long time since I held it like this. I don't want to let you go. Certainly not a request I feel like denying. I'm so sleep deprived I could just doze off like this. She did just directly, refuse your order, bro. You've got club activities to go to, haven't you? Minamo stopped by yesterday to invite Atri to some cooking club practice. Even some vacation doesn't stop Minamo. Oh, yes. Learn to make something nice, okay? Roger. She just directly refused an order, and you're not even going to think much of that? She reluctantly lets go of me. We clean up our plates and get ready to leave the ship. On the threshold, Atri hesitates. What's wrong? If I don't have a notebook, I won't be able to record any new recipes. Oh yeah, you lost your last one. We'll stop somewhere on the way to buy a new one. Thank you. Arigato. Gozaimasu. From the ship, we head to the market district. The plan is to do a little shopping here and then head to school to pick up our exam results. Don't really care about my own grades, but I'm curious to see how well you've done, Atri. 0. Heh. Get ready for our big, high-performance surprise. Atri is as bright and lively as always in front of other people. We pop inside the stationery shop. You spelled stationery wrong. Which one should I pick? There's an A instead of an E there, bro. She eagerly runs her eye over all the notebooks. Why not just get the same kind we did before? She decided on that one after some quite intense deliberation too. The same kind? She glances around the shop. I think I want a different one. She wants to pick up each one in turn and examine them closely. But this could take a while. I'm going to pop to the junk store, so come and meet me when you've decided. Okay. Handing her the money, I leave the store. I've been hobbling around on my walking stick ever since I lost my prosthetic leg trying to get to Eden. I've never been more acutely aware of how lucky I am to have Atri to help me walk than when I'm trying to stumble around on my own like this. I slowly make my way to the junk shop deep in the back of the market. Hey there, lad. You came at just the right time. I was just about to get in touch with you. What about? I found someone who might want to buy that robot off you. Says he's working with some group who's trying to start up a new humanoid business. He's got some backers giving him the funding to research the tech, and he just needs to work an example, so he doesn't mind it being a recalled model. In fact, that'd be even better. I thought I mentioned that I'm not going to be selling her. I passed on the message to him when I made the decision to have Atri stay with me. Well, you might want to at least have a chat, right? She's going to be needing a reset soon anyway. A reset. Her current memory's vanishing, in other words. Judging from when she was made, I'm surprised she hasn't had one already. Even so, I'm not selling her. What use would that be, keeping a body around after she conks out? Putting that aside, I wanted to ask you something. Why was Audrey's particular model recalled anyway? Let me see what the old file said. He pulls out a folder of yellowing papers, then flicks through them. Seems to be some kind of catalogue of all manner of humanoids throughout the decades. It says here there was a fatal error in the programming. Caused some kind of accident. An accident? That's all it says, no concrete details or anything. I can imagine a few ways in which it might have happened. I've been thrown to the sea by that piece of scrap multiple times. If that kind of thing had happened at the height of the proliferation of humanoids, it could have been huge news. Why was Atri never recalled herself, though? PR disasters like recalls could ruin a manufacturer's business. They'd be so desperate to prevent further accidents that they'd take these robots back almost by force. Did Atri get spared simply because she was hidden in my grandmother's storehouse? Or maybe she was accompanying her on a research expedition out at sea. My grandmother could have found her useful and just refused to hand her back. No one would have been able to take that woman's things to the fight. But she wasn't Atri's master. When was the recall? 31 years ago, 2 years after model production started. That's long, long before I was born. The dates aren't ending up here. According to the specs, their model should have a lifespan of 25 years. Sure, she has lived a long time for a humanoid. Is it possible that she'd been reset once before and had a memory module swapped out? What company's going to do that for a defective model? In order to reuse a robot body that's been reset, you'd need to have the whole cybernetic brain refreshed. It's hard for anyone but the manufacturer to do that. Even my grandmother probably couldn't do that. She was just a marine geologist, as technologically advanced as Eden is. I doubt she made the maintenance robots. There had to be someone on her team more experienced with robotics. There's a possibility that someone could have modified Atri, but unauthorized modification of a humanoid is very, very illegal. If she'd been reset, wouldn't it logically work out that she'd still have several years left to live? You can't believe how much I wish that was the truth. Thanks for the information. Give what I said to think, okay? Well, at the store, Atri still know what you've seen. Is she still choosing a notebook? I turn onto the street where stationery shop is located to find her standing in the middle of the path. Atri, why is the end there for? You're getting people's way. What? Atri has stood frozen, seemingly halfway into a stride. It's like she's completely run out of power. People passing by stare at her in bemusement. The light has completely faded from her eyes. She shouldn't have had light in her eyes to begin with, since she's a robot and all, but... Oh well. No way, you can't. Wake up, stop messing around like this, the calendar still hasn't run out yet. A tiny red spark flickers up in her eyes. Huh. Well, just taking a little nap there. Slipping back a thick glob of drool, she glances around as if trying to work out where she is. I clean her face off with a handkerchief. An actually strange all morning, what's wrong with you? I'm completely fine. Look, I'm feeling happy enough to dance. And a one, and a two. She starts to twirl around in the middle of the street. It makes what just happened seem like some kind of uncanny pantomime. Okay, I get that. I get it. Stop that. Oh, I was just getting to the good part. Did you get a notebook? Of course. Look, I found one with the exactly right mix of functionality and price. I'm absolutely sure this is the perfect one. She proudly flourishes in front of her the exact same notebook as before. Have you done what you needed? Yeah, I'm done. So let's go to school. I need to stop by the library first. You go on ahead of me. The town's library was spared from the rising waves by being located high up on a hill, in the opposite direction to the school located from here. Will you be okay on your own? To be completely honest, I would prefer if you came with me. Oh, you really are in spoiled baby mode today, aren't you? You've got club activities though, don't you? Yes, and presumably Namo gave me a real struggle session when I took those days off. So you've got to go, right? Don't worry about me. I'll be extra sure to make it up to you later. I'll be all over you as soon as I get home. Can you not shout that kind of thing in public? Okay, Comrade Atri, shipping out. She gives me an elaborate salute and runs off toward the school. Guess I should get going too. I need to search for any kind of clues as to why Atri's model was recalled. Natsu! Ryuji comes towards me from the direction I'm walking. Oh hey. I was just about to stop by your place. He's grinning like an absolute fool. I wonder if he's got some big salvage job for me. Found it. Just the thing you were talking about. The substation? The one and only. Did you manage to connect the undersea cable to it? Nope, not yet. It's not exactly my area of expertise, so I thought you'd want to take a look at first. Understood. Let's go. A few days earlier, just after we returned from Eden. Eden is a prototype of a floating city intended to support an entire self-sustaining ecosystem. There's a lot of things in my grandmother's research that I initially thought were completely unrelated to that, but I get the feeling that some of those might not be as unconnected as I thought. Safely back on the ship, I set about explaining to Ryuji something that's been on my mind for the last couple days. No, for the holy shit, my English! For the past couple of days, although last couple of days would also make sense. For one thing, there's the island's electricity generation technology. Whole island is acting like one huge hydroelectric power generator. Had a feeling about this when I saw how the waves around it move. They're being sucked into a huge turbine. That's how it's able to produce enough power to maintain all of the functions of the ecosystem. That undersea cable, it might just have been intended to link Eden to the mainland and power the town. My grandmother knew all about how the sea rise could damage humanity's infrastructure, so it's only natural that she might come up with an idea like this. Since that cable's already connected, it's likely that they experimented with using the prototype like that. There'd have to be some kind of transformer substation to sync the power with the town's grid, and they probably would have made sure to build it somewhere that wouldn't end up underwater. Is it possible that you could help me find somewhere around here like that? With that, Ryuji set about searching the town. I see. So, apparently, some university worked on a project and they built this, just like you said. The substation is near to the park on the top of the hill. We're accompanied by someone from the town hall and the mayor, I'm his father. Electrical infrastructure like this wouldn't have been able to be built by private industries without local government permission, so naturally he knew all about it. So basically, this was built so that the electricity coming from Eden could be wired up to the town grid. Electricity has the unfortunate property of losing energy when transmitted over long distances. However, you can minimize the power loss by transmitting at a higher voltage. Standard high-capacity lines carrying electricity from town to town run at voltages in the hundreds of thousands. That voltage, of course, would fry any regular household appliance. It needs to be lowered considerably if it's going to be of any practical use, which is where the transformer comes in. Eden's undersea power cable should be transmitting at a particularly high voltage, so the town would need a substation with a step-down transformer to handle the incoming energy. Wow, okay. As expected, this substation is attached to the cable. The machinery is also functioning. I'm really surprised how quickly all of the adults started believing about Eden. It seems such a ridiculous story at first hearing. On the way back, Ryuji lends me his shoulder and props me up. Going through the series of events in my head, I can't quite believe the mayor accepted a story based on the recollections of some children so easily. The legendary Phantom Island being an experiment by Yachigusa Nonko connected to the mainland by a cable that could power the whole town? Who would believe that? Guess that's just the kind of weight the young professor's words have got around here now, I guess. Since you brought a lie back to the school, everyone's respected you, man. If they're going to believe anyone, it'll be you. Well, if you say so. We're going to be real busy from now on, eh? There's a good reason for his grin after all. We've just landed ourselves one massive salvage job. Does sound pretty big. We're going to be working with an electricity company to pull up and refit an undersea cable. There's probably many more broken segments of the cable down there aside from the one we found, and we'll be charged with finding them and pulling them up. And when they've been refurbished, we'll be helping to lay them again. It's a good job you had the idea of leaving that boy out there. Well, about that, can we put back starting the salvage for a little while? I need to devote some time to Atri. Ryuji's grin instantly vanishes as he sees my bleak expression. So it's true that she's going to die? Yes, it's true. She won't last more than a few days now. No way. Before she dies, I want to help her fulfill her old master's last wish. The problem is, she doesn't remember what that was. That's why I went to Eden, as fruitless as that proved. Isn't there anything we can do to save her? No. Humanoid lifespans are as hard set as our own. Extending their lives isn't just illegal, but it may well be close to technically impossible. Man, and I thought we were finally buds. I sorry that I didn't tell you sooner. Yeah, I mean, dude. He glares at me. But I guess we'd have to never ended up getting close like we did if I knew all along. I couldn't have just messed about playing happy families without wanting to do something about it. Sure you're okay, Natsu? Even when he's as upset as I am, he's still worried about me first. I don't know. I can't even imagine what the world will look like to me with her gone. You know, I've wanted to talk to you about this for a while, but do you want to start a proper company with me after we finish school? We're going to get a lot more salvage jobs coming in from now on, you know. That sub alone's not going to cut it eventually. We're going to need diving equipment and more manpower and all kinds of stuff. We can even get Minamo and Ririka involved. It'll be like a whole team thing. You can be the captain. Ryuji. Can't believe it. I convinced myself that I was going to be left completely alone when Archie left. This proposal that sounds so amazing, so life-changing, that I can hardly control the emotion welling up in my chest. I'll think about it. Oh, come on, dude. Don't blue ball me. This is one of those moments where you're supposed to say yes, and we start bro-hugging and bro-crying and stuff. He laughs and jabs my shoulder. Thank you, Ryuji, for everything, for hanging around with a pathetic guy like me. Psh, don't give me that bullshit. I'm always counting on you, you know, man. Hands around each other's shoulders, we slowly make our way back into town. Back into town, yeah? Yeah, in a town. We say our goodbyes in the market, and I head to the library to search for clues about Atri. I need to work out what happened to her in the time since she was made of 30 years ago and that moment 8 years ago when we met. Is that creepy white-haired guy going to show up at some point soon? One route to finding some kind of thread to follow might be to look into her model's backstory. What am I? Unfortunately, I come up with nothing. Her model was such an obscure, low-volume one that I can't find any concrete details about it. The only thing I have to go on are manufacturer's specifications and vague references elsewhere. My slow hobble means it's already evening by the time I arrive at school. Just coming this far is exhausting. Jeez, I hope Archie's still here. She knows that I'm coming. She surely wouldn't have gone anywhere. Ah, Nazukun! Minami comes out of the school just as I reach the gates. Has Club already finished? Yeah, we're finishing clearing up. We've just been hanging out since then. Is Atri inside? Huh? Ashton didn't come today, though? Huh? Hey, Natsukun, it's been a while. You haven't seen Atri-chan at all today, have you? Nope, wasn't she with you? No, I had some places to be. Well, I suppose I'll get going then. Hanaka mentioned that you hadn't picked up your test scores, right? Oh yeah, I'll grab those before I go then. Okay, bye-bye. See ya. Atri didn't turn up. I knew something was off with her. Did she freeze up somewhere again? Natsuki. With Minama a little distance away, Catherine shows her face. Sorry, but I can't stick around to chat. I just need the test and I'll be on my way. I need to go searching for Atri. Atri's gone home. What? I made her leave. She thrust my test out at me. Full marks, well done. Why did you make Atri go home? Did you pick up that she was acting oddly too? Take a look at her scores. Oh. A big fat 0. That can't be right. I struggle to believe she'd get anything below, say, 80% on tests like this. I thought the same, which is why I asked her what the hell she was playing at. She just looked at me blankly. I'm sure she wouldn't have done something like this on purpose. Of course not. She might seem silly at times, but she always tries her hardest. There's only one thing this can be. That girl, you know. She's got a fatal error in her programming. What the hell are you saying? I raised my voice, seeing the flash of red in her eyes. The Yamasaki YHN incident. The what? It happened 31 years ago. A humanoid invaded an elementary school and attacked a student. 31 years? That was exactly when Archie's model was recalled. So the robot that caused the incident could have been the same type as her? So you're saying that she might have the same kind of flaw? No, not just that. Every single humanoid of that model was reported, recalled, and scrapped. The one that caused the incident was, too, according to the reports at least. You mean, it ran away, it escaped before it could be disassembled. That robot, it's Atri? I can't be sure, but you should know full well how dangerous she can be. You mean, from that time she stopped you slitting my throat? I think we both know who the dangerous one is here. If anyone ever found out that she tried to extort me at knife point, she'd lose her teaching license in an instant. I can control myself. The same can't be said for her. She can. If she couldn't, you wouldn't have escaped her wrath in one piece. Atri might have given Catherine a pretty hard hit back then, but we can both tell she pulled her punches. And tell that whatever I say won't be enough to convince her. Robots don't have a heart. They don't have emotions to express to humans. If we're unable to control or understand the logic that they're operating on, how can we trust them? No matter how close our relationship we may form with them, one day they may become our enemies. People came to realize this eventually and decided that they were an unnecessary threat to humanity's future. If you want to make this all about what happened in the past, then so be it. I'm a teacher and as such I have a duty to protect my students. Don't ever let her come near this school again. You son of a bitch. What's the next little pause going to be, because I'm going to end this episode soon. The space where my leg would be weighs heavily on me as I trudge home. Really need a new prosthetic. My thoughts are as heavy as my body. I think and think, but I have no idea what I say to Archie when I get home. I know that it's pointless to worry about that, ultimately. She's a robot, she doesn't have feelings to hurt, but somehow I want her to be upset. I want the proof that that's not the case. And yet, at the same time, I realize how pathetic and hopeless it is to want that much. If she really did have emotions, how could she even prove so? How does anyone prove that? It's only because she's such a top-quality model that she's able to pretend so successfully. I'm high performance, hee hee. That proud expression flashes across my mind. Atri? Atri is standing alone on the coast. She's supposed to have gone back to the ship. Why would she be here? She stands completely still, letting the waves lap up to her feet. Has she frozen up again? Atri! I try to rush over to her, but a surge of water takes my foot out from underneath me. L. Are you alright, Natsuki-san? Archie just manages to catch me before I hit the ground. I'm fine, thanks. So, she's a school shooter? Did she shoot up a primary school? Or an elementary school? Did she actually shoot up an elementary school, bro? She pulls me up and takes my hand without a word. What are you doing here? Atri? I was waiting for you. Why didn't you just wait for me on the ship? She seems to freeze up again. I anticipated that you may have trouble traversing this road alone, as just evidenced. Her gaze seems ever so slightly downcast. If she was a normal girl, I'd assume that meant she was hiding something, but who knows with her? Well, thanks for waiting for me. You're right, I could have had a lot of trouble here. So, this is helpful. Yeah, having you around completely changes everything. That is good to hear. She's still staring down at the ground. Okay, let's go. Understood. Her gait is almost mechanical. Whether it is because she's sad or merely suppressing a learned behaviour, there's no sign of her normal proud trot. I loved seeing her walk like that. I realise that now. I look for the words to say, but all that I can think of are questions. What? Is it alright for me to go to the cooking club tomorrow? Do you want to go? Yes, it will improve my utility. She looks up at me with that blank expression. I know that Catherine must have ordered her not to come to school. A robot cannot disobey an order. Atri should know full well that going to school is impossible for her now. We've got to search for your lost memories, haven't we? Maybe it's better if you skip the club. I see. We do not have time for frivolities. We should prioritize our mission. She says that since she doesn't have a heart, she cannot be hurt. But what does it even mean to have a heart? She's experienced being lost and abandoned, and the only conclusion that she has been able to come to is that she doesn't have one. That can't be true. What's wrong, Natsuki-san? I suddenly stand and Atri turns to face me. We're so close that our height difference means she has to crane her neck upward to look at me. No matter what happens, remember that I love you. Yes, sir, bro. Thank you. However, I cannot return that love exactly, bro. I know that. You made yourself very clear on that matter, after all. Currently, I hate you. Yeah, There's no way I can misconstrue that. I simply simulated that reply. Should I possess emotions, I would have described my feelings to Natsuki-san in that moment as hate. It was merely an estimation. When I say that I cannot return your love, it is not through a choice of my own. I simply do not have emotions that I can give to others. I don't need you to return it. Think of it like the way robots are meant to serve humans without getting anything back. We are constructed to operate that way, and humans come to feel the same way naturally about the people they love. At least, that's what it seems like from my research so far. Oh, I've learned something. Even at a moment like this, she can't help but acquire new information and try to be even more useful. It's so endearing that I can't help but throw my arms around her. Huh? I just want you to remember those words. I love you. Think of it as something akin to a matter of my pride. I've learned something. Even with her mouth partially muffled by my embrace, she earnestly gives me that same affirmation. Thank you. There's something I'd like to ask of you when we get back. Oh, what's that? I'll tell you later. Oh, if you say so. There's something to look forward to, at least. I release her from my embrace and we set off on our way home. I wonder how many more times we'll get to walk home together hand in hand like this, side by side with Atri proudly kicking up her feet. No sighing! What the hell? I read in a book that every time you sigh, it delays your marriage by 3 months. What kind of garbage are you reading? You should pick your books more carefully. You seem kind of down, huh, China? Something up? Jeez, I must really be losing my age lately if even you're worrying about me. I'm not the one in the wrong here. Yes, you are, you dick. There's a chance he'll hurt one of my students. Don't come to school again. That's an order. Understood. I will not come to school again. Goodbye. Hope that's enough. No, because, fucking Natsuki's orders override yours. If she is ordered by him to come to school, then you're fucked. It's probably not going to be, right? What? Well, you're making a face to tell me something's going to go wrong. There's no 3 months delay, you know. Shut up about that. Look, I'm doing this for all of your sakes. It's not easy being a teacher, you know. Oh yeah, did you tell Atri and everyone about those scary people? Who? You know, the people who came to school that time. Oh, no, not yet. I've got to tell them, they could be in danger. Wait a second, where are you going? You shouldn't be running around outside this late. Okay, we'll tell them tomorrow. Yeah, bitch. Bitch. Botch. Wait, the students come to the boat anyway. Like, rather frequently. So what do you mean, hurt? Like, they'll come here anyway. Do you have anything for me to do currently? Not really. You can rest up if you want to. She's asked me that multiple times since we got back. As always, she's itching to show off just how useful she can be. I suppose that it's kind of a way she can assert the validity of her existence. Anyway, you said that you wanted to ask something? I still haven't heard whatever request she wanted to make earlier. Let's clean up. Ignoring my question entirely, she starts to fiddle with the papers on the table. Hey, you don't need to do that. Stop, you'll mix up all my research. That would be particularly bad, considering I made a promise to the mayor to hand over the fruits of my labour to him. Don't worry about that, I am high performance. She has gotten a lot better at housework lately, so I'm sure she wouldn't completely ruin them. I think she ruined them. A great avalanche of files and books goes tumbling to the floor, landing in a heap at the feet of a completely frozen Atri. I blink. Ow! You piece of scrap! I grab her in a headlock and grind my knuckles into her scalp. That hurts. My skull plate is steady enough to withhold any such punishment, but I must ask you to refrain from conduct that breaches the robot protection statute. That's not what you should be saying at a time like this, is it? How about a sorry? You have learned something. Sorry. I let her go, and she crouches pathetically in front of me. I made Natsuki-san angry. Damn it, you've messed up all the files I just finished sorting. It had taken me days to go through them and organize the contents. I'm sorry, Natsuki-san. As a military robot, I really am just destined to destroy. You're still able to tell jokes in this kind of situation? I would have assumed jokes come from a place of emotion, but maybe she's just programmed to use them as a way of soothing the situation. That was not a joke. It is undeniably possibility. It is a undeniable possibility derived from several potential pieces of evidence. Well, let me deny the undeniable, then. You're a 4th generation Yamasaki Factories model humanoid, serial number YHN-04B. That's what I've gleaned from the books in the library. Oh, I see. That's a shame. Are all the robots of your model as bad at housework as you are? No, I alone possess the special functionality of being utterly useless. The special functionality of being utterly useless, yes. Geez, how did you end up like that anyway? There are 2 possibilities. 1, a fault in my manufacturing. 2, that I was converted into a household humanoid from a military robot. That'll be option number 1 then. When you first made up that story about being some kind of weapon, you said that your master had taken you in when you were all alone, didn't you? Oh, I don't remember saying that, but I'm sure that was just a lie. I thought so, but I'm starting to think that's not the case. You also said you had trouble controlling your power and you kept making mistakes, right? That seemed to have convinced her that she was some kind of natural-born killing machine. Well, that is probably true. The few fragments I can extract from my memory banks consist of me being scolded. Seems like it was the truth that she was told off a lot for not being able to do housework. The light instantly drains from Archie's eyes again. She falls back on the bed, sitting with her head drooped. What's wrong? It seems that physical labour has exhausted my energy reserves. You should lie down. It's almost time for bed anyway. This is the perfect timing. I would like to tell you what my request is now. Ah, finally. Right, what do you want? Here. Hamsy sit in a pillow with a big embroidered yes on it facing toward her. She peeks out above it, staring at it with her usual blank expression. Can we sleep together tonight? Oh, that's the yes side. I suppose it must be alright. Huh? She reaches over and grabs hold of my waist. What am I supposed to do now? She silently but forcefully pulls me down next to her on the bed. Oh boy. With her arm still wrapped around me, she lays her head down on my lap. Is it okay if I act like the spoiled one for a change? Okay. Looks at me with a slight furrow in her brow. She reaches for my hand and pulls it over to her head. When I'm babying you, I always stroke your head. Please do the same for me. Oh, sorry. I'm not used to doing this kind of thing. I gently stroke her soft hair. Is that good? I don't know. Did it make you happy when I did this to you? Please stop playing with my heart like this. Just say it feels good. But I don't know. She swims around trying to find the ideal position. Please stay like that until I fall asleep. Understood, my little Archie. It's unusual of you to ask for something from me like this, though. I feel that if I go to sleep on my own, I won't wake up again. My very soul quakes. It's okay, if you don't wake up on your own, I'll make you get up. Please don't hurt my skull plate again. I don't like the sound. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. I continue stroking their soft, silvery hair. She closes her eyes, an expression of utter peace in her face, and falls asleep. Holding her delicate form in my arms, I continue to dote on her, and even as she dozes. So cute. I gently prodded her rosy cheeks into her little nose with my fingertips. She mumbles, but she doesn't wake up. I squish her cheek lightly between my fingertips. She visits around in my lap. As she wiggles, a small piece of paper sticks out from her dress pocket. I didn't realize what it is. That suggests she got 0 marks on. Feeling the tiniest pang of shame, I picked the piece of paper out. She answered every question, but she didn't get a single mark. What the hell? Every answer is nonsense, just like Catherine said. I know Atri wouldn't do this on purpose. I'm sure she gave her all on every question. She just couldn't remember. Not a single thing. She tried so hard. She learned so much. Breakfast this morning, her new notebook, so many other things. She's losing her memories faster and faster. Her death is fast approaching. Her death is fast approaching. Yep. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to have to end this video. Another one after this episode will come out the day after this one, but it'll be recorded in the same day, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode as well of Archery, My Dear Moments, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.